Devon. A real Kiwi rural structure for 30 years. Owned by Kiwis, run by Kiwis, made by Kiwis, for Kiwis. There's no other tank I'll have around here.
G'day. Well, here we are in the South Taranaki. As you can see, Fonterra in the background, so we're not far away. Of course, Mount Egmont out to our left that you won't see on a cloudy day, but there you are. We've got an interesting guy to have a chat with today, Kelvin Wittington. Him and his wife have put together a lovely collection of machinery, mainly stationary engines, but having said that, he's got vintage cars and everything associated with old, interesting stuff. Kelvin, how would you be?
Good, thanks, Mike.
Whoa, a little bit of interesting old material here.
Yep.
It'd have to be a stationary engine of the horizontal type, no?
Yep. Well, what we have here is a Tangy AA gas engine. This particular one was manufactured in 1912.
Crikey, that's, what, 100 years ago or more, isn't it?
It's 100 years old. And it's in pretty good condition, runs really well.
Just looking at it, she's excellent condition. And so, it's one that you've worked on or one you've acquired like this?
Basically, I've acquired it like it, and we've just done a little bit of tidying up and would like to do a few more little mods to it.
Ripper. Well, as you know, you can save a few bob by spending a few bob extra in the first case, but then you can save a lot of money. Just for example, if you've got to recondition a magneto, you can spend up to $1,000 in there, can't you?
Yep.
So by buying it in good nick, and it adds to what you've already got. Yeah, some interesting little features with it, being a single cylinder, horizontal.
Yep.
Of course, exposed crankshaft here, but covered with a little tin guard. They must have been thinking about OshPaps in them days. Beautifully mounted on some nice timber here, absorb some of the shock. Yep. And of course on wheels, so you can put them in and out of the shed, eh?
Yep. So this model of engine, they come out in two different types. One was the gas engine, so this run on town producer gas. And the other model run on was what they call an oil engine, so that runs on kerosene.
Oh, right.
And it's a hot bulb type engine as well.
And so the producer gas is long gone, but we see a little hose underneath here. You just run off the conventional barbecue bottle now, so to speak.
Yep. It's convenient.
And they tell me in its earlier day it drove a lighting theatre generator somewhere. Yeah,
the history that we know about it is from about 1960, where at the Papakura Picture Theatre it ran a generator and then disappeared, and we believe then was found underneath a hedge where the guy I bought the engine from recovered it and restored it pretty much as you see it here. Got it going, and
well, he's done a lovely job, eh? He's streamlined the copper up and built a beautiful tank on it. And
Yep.
Quite a large looking cylinder on the outside, but of course it's water cooled inside, but what, 2.5, 3 horsepower thereabouts?
Yeah, this is a 3.5 horsepower model.
Yes.
It's cooled via thermosiphon, so we've just got a tank there, there's no pump.
Oh, right, and it just relies on the hot water rising to siphon the system round, yes?
Yep, seems to work reasonably well. We've run the engine for about over 4 hours and seems to run all right.
Beauty.
The only little modification that's been done with it is that we're running what's called a high tension magneto with it.
Yes.
I still have the low tension mag, but when the engine was found it was missing the igniter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it didn't have the igniter housing, so a housing's been manufactured to fit a spark plug, and we're running it that way. So
if any of the good folk out there know where there's an igniter for one of these,
be interested
to give you a hoy.
Interested to get one to try and bring it back to more original.
Of course, all the early engines, not all, but most of the early engines did come out with a low tension ignition system before the magnetos came along. But yeah, Kelvin will be very grateful if you can find one of these such units, a little set of points, if you like, built in, and there's little wire chutes inside, and they were a little bit different to the magneto system that we understand today. Of course, this little beautiful little tangy engine originally ran on producer gas, byproduct of coal. And of course, the old steamers would have brought it up from down the South Island, brought it up to Partea, but producer gas is out and gone now, so we're running it on barbecue gas bottle. But so, do you reckon we can have a little start up? Thanks, Kelvin.
Yep, we can try.
A few little tricks in starting an engine like this, Kelvin tells me. One of them is to make sure the compression is on the right strokes, that the little valve at the front here is closed, otherwise it'll just leak gas out into the atmosphere. And too much gas leaking around is not a good scene. But otherwise, Kelvin, we're pretty ready to go, are we?
Yep.
So we just rock it back and bring it off compression. And keep rocking. Keep rocking. As gentle as you like, there she is. Well, listen to that, eh? What a cracker little runner, isn't it? And so what, she's only firing about every 4th or 5th revolution?
As required, yeah, it's just throttling it back on the governor.
Yep. And how often, like, would you oil it before you start it each time, and every few hours of work, perhaps?
Yep. Probably every hour.
Yep. A little oil bottle here, I see it bubbling away there, it's letting oil feed into the piston. And
yeah, that's lubricating the piston.
Yes. What, would you take half an hour or so to get heat up before she starts? Yep.
A good hour's running to start getting a bit of temperature in it.
Yes. And of course, if she's working, driving something, she'd heat up a bit quicker.
A lot more,
doubt, but
we'd probably run a little bit faster too, and it'll smooth it out.
Yep.
At the moment, it's probably only firing every second stroke.
Yep.
Stroke here.
And she's a little honey, isn't it? There you are, over 100-year-old.
Yep, still goes well.
Yep, still running like she was brand new. Little beauty. You notice there's a lot of little cogs and everything working their way up at the front here, Kelvin. A little camshaft driving a shaft here. What's the principle of this?
What's happening here is the whole brains are running the engine. So we've got here, this lever here is tripping the magneto.
Okay, yes.
I believe it's firing at every stroke.
Yes.
And then we have this little arm down in here which is actually opening the gas valve into the engine.
Okay, so I notice sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't, it's obviously...
It goes above the valve, so there's no gas going in the engine. So if there's no gas, it doesn't fire.
Right.
So it's actually using that to limit the
speed of the RPM, yes.
So that's actually throttling it back.
That's a little governing system.
Yep. And we also have this little cam here, which is running that shaft underneath, which is actually the exhaust valve.
Right. Yeah. So a very simple little procedure, but looks complicated, but as you say, quite simple.
Yep.
And then the spare little mounting hole here, would that be another casting for water to be taken off, perhaps, or?
Not sure.
Okay, yep. No worries.
Possibly something to do with the oil engine type setup.
Oh, it could be too, yes. Yep, induction of the carburetor or whatever.
Yep.
Can we turn this plug off, Kelvin? Is there any special procedures for turning it off?
Normally just turn the gas valve off and it shuts down within about 15-20 seconds.
Oh well, I notice green's the theme in both the engines and the sheds here, and I spy a little green machine in there, so how about we turn the gas off and we'll go and see something else green, eh?
Okay.
Beautiful.
Come and experience one of New Zealand's most outstanding heritage collections. 140 years of rural history alive again. See you at the Coach House Museum in Friendly Fielding.
Do you need parts for your Ford or Ferguson? Are you buying or selling a tractor? Got an old girl you want repaired or restored? For parts, service, sales or advice, contact Chris Dew, Tractor Man. He'll get you going.